Yo guys, what's up? It's Alex from GMG Studio. We are back from our summer break and it's time to continue with our Android series. In this video we will build a simple list with OKR cards. The OKR cards aren't finished yet, but I want to show you how to build a list with Jetpack Compose. We will just use dummy data and a very simple view model because first of all we want to build our UI and be satisfied with it. In real life projects you would start with scribbles and UI designs and then start building your app. First of all the UI so you can test it. I've seen many companies doing it wrong because they have a bunch of developers and no UX designer or just one UI designer, and they don't have a UI, and then they start with database implementation and the models, and after a bunch of time they will implement the UI, and when they start user testing or actually release the app, there are a bunch of usability mistakes and they have to refactor the whole thing. Emotional damage! And we want to do it right, so let's start. First of all, we will create a new Kotlin file in the app package. We will create a class and name it OKR Tracking List ViewModel. This is the view model of our screen. First of all, we have to tell this that this is a view model and remember to press enter so Android Studio does the imports automatically. Then we will create a private value of _OKRs because it's private, of a mutable state, list of string, and give it a few strings. Then we will create a value OKRs without the underscore, and the get method will just return the _OKRs. This will make sure that nobody can change our mutable state list of outside of our view model. Then we will create a fun add OKR, and we will create a value title which is OKR plus the OKRs.size plus 1 to string, and then we will add a new OKR with this title to the _OKR. So this is why we make it private, so only we from the view model can change it. And now let's fix the view model thing. We need to initialize it on the top, so we will just write it like this, and now it's fixed. And this is our simple view model we need for the UI. We don't write tests yet, we will write them later because we just want to test our UI and make a really basic UI so we can test it. Now create a new file under app. This time we will create a Kotlin file, not a Kotlin class, and we will name it OKRTrackingListScreen. This will be our whole screen of the OKR tracking list. And it's a file because it will be a composable, not a class. Now write add composable, press enter to make the imports. Then we write fun OKR tracking list screen. Now we'll write value view model and initialize our OKR tracking list view model, which takes no arguments. Now we will use a scaffold, I don't know how to pronounce it. The cool thing about this is we want to use a floating action button, and it will take a floating action button as argument, so we don't have to do the padding and the floating and everything like this on our own. So we write floating action button position, and the position is a fab position, and we will put it at the end. And then we write floating action button, and now we can initialize the button we want. So we want a floating action button, and on click we want to call ViewModel.add OKR. And then just use a text, and the string is add. The text is red because I didn't press enter and the imports didn't succeed and it's not right in it. This is a problem. And ViewModel.add OKR is red as well. Let's see, it is red because I'm missing brackets. I need to write open brackets after on click so I can call it. Now let's fix this. And now it's working again. Let's fix the thing with the text. Just delete it and I write it again, text, and press enter. Now it's working, so I have to get used to it to press always enter on Android Studio because in Xcode I just write it on my own. Now we need to set the content, and the content just use a text to do. We have to make our OKR cards we can use, so let's do this. But first, the cool things about Jetpack Compose, the previews. We write add preview, and we want to show the background. I like it if I can see the background, it's true. And this is a composable, and always press enter. And it's a fun, not funk, without the C, and we will name it OKR Tracking List Screen Preview. And then we just can call OKR Tracking List Screen. I'm really enjoying those previews. We just have to press build. Let's press it again and now it should work. Now we will create a new file, a Kotlin file, and we will name it OKRCard. Now we will create the OKR cards which we want to show in the list. First of all, we write add composable run fun OKRCard, and we will take 3 arguments: a title, which is a string, a description, which is a string too, and a progress, which is a float. Now we will create a new card and we will pass the arguments in the initializer. It will be a modifier, which is equal to modifier, and we want to add a padding of 5 dp. We want to fill the max width, and the text is equal to test. As you can see, dp is red. We will fix it later. The preview is actually pretty easy. It's an OKR card preview, and I have to delete preview and write it again to fix the imports. And we want to show the background because I like it. To fix the dp, we need to import androidx.compose.ui.unit.dp, and let's give it a background color, which is equal to material theme.colors.surface. We don't need it because it's equal to the color we have, but I like it. Now let's delete the text and add a row with a vertical alignment, which is alignment.center vertically. I copy pasted it, and this is why I needed to delete and enter it again because of the imports. The row has a column with a modifier.padding, which is 8 dp, and we will add a text, and let's do it with text is equal to title. The style is equal to material theme.typography.h4, and the color is equal to material theme.colors.surface. And yeah, now it should work. Now we want to create a new row which will take the argument vertical alignment, and vertical alignment is equal to alignment.center vertically. And we want to add a text in this row. The text is equal to the description. The style is the material theme.typography.body1. And we want to add a spacer to have a vertical spacing, which will take the modifier.width, which is equal to 10 dp. And we want to add a circular progress indicator, which takes the progress as argument. While this doesn't look right, we need to fix this first. We will delete the color of the first text. It was obvious that this wouldn't work because they are the same color. We need to put the spacer and the circular progress indicator in the row, so they are on one row. Now it should work. Let's see. Perfect. This is what we wanted. Now let's go to our OKR tracking list screen, and the content isn't the text anymore. We want to use a list of our OKR cards we just created. Let's go. Now the content takes a column, and the modifier we want to give in is the modifier.fillMaxSize, because we want to fill all the size of it. Now let's create a lazy column, and the content is equal to, basically we can delete this and just write it with one bracket. And now we can write items, which will take the ViewModel.OKRs, the public ones, and they will return one OKR, which is a string now, just for the UI to test it. And then we can create a new OKR card. The title is the OKR. The description is just a random description. We don't care now. And the progress, we will just make a random float. So we will use random.nextFloat. So it will return a random float. So it changes a bit. We have to fix this. The autocompletion was wrong. We have to use the items, which will take a list of strings or a list of any type. So now it should work. Let's build it. Something is wrong. Oh, we are missing a few brackets. Let's fix this, guys. Now one bracket is missing. I think, yeah, one more bracket is missing. And now it should work because we're now perfect. Now we have fixed it. And we can build the project, and you can see our preview looks fine. This is what we wanted. Let's run it on the emulator. And now hello Alex. We need to fix this. We have to change the main activity to use our new OKR tracking list screen and not the greeting from the normal project. So we go to main activity and we will change the greeting Alex to OKR tracking list screen. Now let's run it again. Terminate it and we will run it again. And now it should work. Perfect. Let's try the add button. Perfect. This is what we wanted, guys. A simple list with OKR cards. Don't worry, guys. The UI will look better in the next videos. This is just a simple tutorial so we can create a list of OKR cards. Guys, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments. See you in the next video. Like the video if you liked the video, dislike the video if you disliked the video, subscribe if you want to be notified on our future content. We are also on Instagram and Facebook. Feel free to follow us there as well. And have a great day. Start creating, stop consuming.